Today I'm critiquing the crown jewel of Lombok Island in Indonesia, and then I'm going to give it an Arvin score at the end of the video. So if you ever decide to build a dream home, design one, or remodel one, you won't make the same mistakes. I'm Arvin Haddad. I'm the guy who makes sure you have the highest resale value when you build, remodel your dream home. Let's watch this video together.
Kastil Utara is a timeless home located here on the island of Lombok, Indonesia, resting on the ridgeline here in Tampah Hills. We're going to go on multiple adventures with Jacob Palm, the founder of Tampah Hills, and his team during this tour, while also giving you guys a detailed look at the design with Nico and Kiko, the architects of this beautiful biophilic home.
I know what you're thinking. What the hell is a biophilic home? Why does it look like that? And where the hell are we? Okay, let's start with location. You know where Bali is, Indonesia. This island is right next to it, Lombok, okay? Looks very similar, topography is the same, but it's just much more quiet. There's not that many tourists. It's more of a surfer town area, a lot more like true Indonesian island. Now, the architecture. This architecture, it might be known to you as invisible architecture or camouflage architecture, and its main purpose and design is to blend in with nature, not to disturb it, but to fit into it and bringing the outdoor inside and really encompassing the nature around it. And this is perhaps the most beautiful execution that I have ever seen. So pay attention and take notes.
We're now beginning the tour here on the motor court. You'll notice the ficus tree set up in the middle of all these rough stone, just really blending into the environment here. All the retaining walls were all quarried here with that limestone, the lush greenery everywhere. The whole intention behind this home was just to blend in to the topography and not disrupt the ridgeline. I think that's something so special and unique about this area. If you're going to build, the intention is to blend in like the home was always here. But now stepping into this carport, that's all shielding you from the sun, 3 mopeds, and of course the motorcycle that was all provided by Tampah Hills. And beneath me is a bedroom as well. So this technically is an 8-bedroom villa. We have 2 separate villas with 2 separate wings.
It's basically a triplex. Let me show you. Right under the carport, there's a 1-bedroom guest house. And then you take the stairs down to this outdoor lobby. And to your left, there's a 3-bedroom villa. And then to your right, there's a 4-bedroom villa. They both have their own swimming pool. They're really pitching it as one villa, but it's technically 2 with a maid's quarters or a security guard.
But now stepping down, we're gonna go on these natural limestone steps going down to this home. Everything under roof that you see here is just under 18,000 square feet. Interior space is just around 9,000 square feet. But it's so biodiverse as you look around out into the Indian Ocean, the rice fields, the palms. You can even see the beach down below where Tampah Hills has their service if you want to dine on the beach as well. As you can see around me, we have an incredibly lush, biodiverse green rooftop. The agave plants in these raised plant beds, all the natural stone around me with these mixed minerals, even also adding into the textural, colorful qualities that we have blending into this hillside. It's beautiful and just incredibly intentional.
Okay, let's talk about the approach and the architectural style. You have the approach. You have a private driveway. You come all the way over here. You get to a motor court. There's a little carport. You park your bike. And then you look to the left. You look to the right. You're like, where's my house? Where's the facade? You don't get one. Remember? This is a biophilic, invisible camouflaged home. And they've taken it very, very seriously. You don't get to ever see the facade. And this is a beautiful architecture when you consider it. But you can't even see the back facade because you have to get a drone to look at it back. So it does what it promises to do, as to blend in with the nature completely in every true sense of the word, and not even have internal steps in the property. Why? Because they decided to have a 1-story. Most architects will come over here and say, you know what, we're going to make an upside down home. You're going to enter from the top. You're going to maybe have the bedrooms here, a lobby, and then you take the stairs down to the swimming pool area on the lower. But they said, no, we're going to choose an architectural style that will fit the land, and it fits it perfectly. Because this terraced level architecture, it has been in Indonesia and parts of Vietnam, a lot of areas in Southeast Asia. You got the rice fields, which are terraced beautifully. And this is very good choice of architectural style for the location.
I'll show you guys this natural stone pathway, which actually guides and leads you up to an elevated platform where we have another bedroom with all those same qualities and details as the villa down below, which we're about to tour. There's an espresso machine built into the wall, and I especially love in the wet entry shower. You can open up this little door and just release steam or let a cool breeze come in while you're showering. But now down these steps, you'll notice more plants, the ocean slowly disappearing and reappearing as we go down to the main floor. We also have these paper flower plants, very vibrant. Once again, just so much plant life here.
I absolutely love these stairs to the front door. They do so much. It's like a private driveway for walking. Let me explain. It's like a temple. You get a glimpse of this beautiful view. And then, you know, when you go to the perfume section in the mall and you smell a lot of different things and they give you the coffee jar, this is the coffee jar, okay? You smell it, you cleanse up your palate to go through the experience within the house. It's absolutely beautiful. And I know what you're thinking. Arvin, you've criticized having stairs to the front door as a negative your whole career. Yes, I have. Absolutely, you're correct. You see, I never said you're not allowed to break the rules. The rules are there for you to understand them, to understand these 10 principles that I talk about all the time, their correlations with each other. So when you find the right location, you can choose the right architectural style and you can break them. You're absolutely allowed to break the rules, but you have to do it right.
And the temperature drop, it gets so cool. This is how the architects described it. This is an ultra luxury cave. This mimics that very innate quality that I think humans have about these dark ceilings, almost making it feel like a cave, which is safe and cool, which this home replicates. So I thought that was cool that they shared that with us. This is very typical of biophilic homes, right? So we have this circular skylight with this tree that just shoots all the way through it. It's almost like this tree was planted here first, and then they built this entire villa around it. And then on the ceiling, you'll notice these vertical cuts of ironwood as it takes on this dramatic slope upward, revealing the sky, the ocean, the waves, the beach down below. This is such a luxury, nature-fused home. You feel so connected.
Okay, let's talk about the views because they're beautiful. You get a combination of jungle, water, beach, and sand, all south-facing. Now, this area, south-facing, is not ideal because we're in the southern hemisphere. You typically want to be north-facing, but at the same time, the closer you are to equator, that equation matters less and less and less. It gets really hot closer to the equator, so you don't want much sun. And at the same time, the angle of the sun, it doesn't affect it as much. Now, I'm going to score the view at the end of the video, and I think it's one of the most beautiful, natural, pristine views I've ever seen.
I want to take you guys in to the first villa on the east wing. Opening up this 9-foot tall frameless glass door. It also is going to pocket, just letting for more airflow. The interior design was also done by the same architectural firm, Nico and Kiko. So everything from the exterior and interior is super cohesive.
This is very important. In fact, the most successful architectural homes that I've seen, it's normally a team of an interior designer and an actual architect. When these two start working together, your design gets both the functional experience and also the external architectural angles that look appealing. And that combination is amazing. And it's a core principle of my consulting work where I critique layouts, architectural style. I always look at it both from the outside, from the internal experience. And this is a great design team. Now, there's something silly going on here. I want to see if you catch it, okay? Pay attention.
We have all this dry stack limestone just to make us feel like we're, again, in the earth, underground, in this cave. The neutral tones are continued here on this deep couch. I mean, look how deep these cushions are. These are just perfect for sitting, chilling, as they're super deep. You can just have great conversation, watch a movie, or just look out the window and take in these incredible views. We also have ironwood out here on the pool deck, which is just perfect because it's one of the most durable hard woods in the entire world. And it's so cool that they used this here because it's traditionally used in like commercial applications like boats. But now you can see it being used here at Kastil Utara.
Did you spot the flaw? I always pause the frame and ask my subscribers to spot the flaw. I give you guys 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. There are 2. 1, you have glass doors to get into the unit, but you have shutters and louvers on one side. So it's not air conditioned. You're going to get bugs. and it might get really hot and humid and you're just going to feel it, okay? It's only air conditioning in the bedroom areas. But the second one is that it really is a duplex. There's like another 4-bedroom house on the other side, and they both have really great kitchens, which is great if you're renting them separately as an investment. But if you're going as a big family, it really doesn't have a lot of those, extra elements that people really like on their vacations, like a gym or a TV room or a movie theater or a game room. The climate here is not stable. Like it rains and it could switch up a lot, right? So you really have to blend in with the nature and really just chill out. Like you have to go with the whole concept. But that's the beauty of it. You see, when you decide to choose the architectural style, let's say you're planning to build a community or a resort, sometimes you can use the architecture like they have over here to attract a group of people who would have never come to your location to begin with. And they've done that here. Like, I am curious in this architecture, and you might be too. Like, you're curious in the island. It's really not that, people didn't live here. People have been living here for thousands of years, but globally, it puts the island on the map. And that's how powerful architecture is.
As we travel over into the kitchen, you'll notice this built-in side table on the couch. That faux marble is actually brought back in. Starting here, you have this matte black rectangular fixture. Has this nice, warm, ambient glow. And notice all the lighting just really plays into each other with all these floor lamps. All the appliances are also super sleek and seamless, like here on the stovetop, the integrated espresso, microwave and oven, and on the backsplash, more of that faux marble with those warm tones really being brought out by this rich teak wood we see in here. I just love all the different contrasts between the ironwood, the stucco.
I don't like the contrast, but you know what's happening in your brain right now? You're like, this is Arvin, the Indonesian style. You see, they're having the first to market advantage here. They get to define the architectural expectations, color palettes in this island. And this is exactly how things start. When you think of a property, you're like, oh, this is very Dubai, or this is very LA, this is very Miami or New York. How do you think it started, right? Like some architect starts doing a good job, gets a great resale value. All the other architects start copying the finishes and styles to get, and that becomes the dominant theme, color and finish in that town. And it has an identity. I don't think that walnut color with that steel darker tone wood goes. But again, they have the first to market advantage, and it's just going to register in your brain as like, oh, that's the style over here.
Everything's detailed but understated. So as you open up this monolithic pivot door, we're going to just step into our powder room. You'll notice the terrazzo on this cylindric vessel of a sink. Everything's dark and moody, and you're about to see that as we go into our bunk room. Sleeps 4 people here in this bunk room. You'll notice the integrated lighting, so illuminating that stucco, just all the textures just feel so organic here as you have this sliding door which opens up, once again letting more of that natural air into the space.
What a beautiful execution of putting bunk beds in a kind of a tropical destination. It's so funny. Most architects never think of it when it comes to summer vacations. They always apply it into winter destinations. And they've done it really wisely over here. It just gets so much more rental value. Kids absolutely love it. And if you haven't seen the other property that actually motivated me to make a video about this property, is this invisible architecture in British Virgin's Island, which doesn't come anywhere close to this level of architecture, thoughtfulness, planning, and everything else.
Every bedroom is going to have its own pivot door and ensuite. The water closet is just off to my right. I did want to point out the 2 tones that we've seen again and again. And that black tone where this handle is brings out a lot of the grain from this wood, which I thought was really, really cool. But when we were on top of this home, when we began this tour, you may have noticed this glass piece, which was a skylight, which actually is cut out. And it brings it down into this wet entry shower, which I thought was so cool. That terrazzo tile is in here as well. Just enormous slabs of it that we see in this space.
Interesting choice of terrazzo in this architecture. It's so funny because I think this is really custom. You can pick the type of stone that you put in the cement or whatever they mix it in. And they've gone with this kind of a pinkish, brownish element that it really picks out the colors in the rest of the property, and it makes it work.
Now going straight across the hallway, another monolithic pivot door. Now the bathroom you step into has that terrazzo tile once again, and then that smoky glass as you go into the shower. The water closet is just behind this door, and we're gonna push into this room. The king size bed, incredible views. This all opens up to that pool we just saw, those neutral organic tones on the rug, that accent chair, and the thoughtful and foresight of design, maximizing the space. I mean, look at the bedside table, the niche cutouts, so well done. But now coming out to the end of the hallway, we're gonna enter into what I'm gonna call the junior suite, because Lydia and I are actually staying in the big one on the other opposite side of the villa. But now coming in through another pivot door, you can drop your personal belongings here. Corrugated wood once again. The powder room and water closet off to my right. But first, I want to tell you guys kind of a little bit of a story that I learned from Kiko and Nico, the architects. This boulder was actually a part of the original design. Initially, they were going to build on top of it a little jumping platform into a pool. But once they found that was going to disrupt the structural integrity of this boulder, as it's not actually part of the mountain, they went away from that concept, and now the pool is the way it is with that infinity edge, which is just stunning, just maximizing these incredible views. But just kind of a behind the scenes look at what could have been, but obviously the design is super timeless here.
Okay, let's talk about the views, because there's a lot into it. First of all, it's dynamic, right? You get that Halong Bay, multiple hills along the way. Then you get the east from this side, the west from the other side. You get the Queen Necklace view. The beaches are beautiful, but they're not like the most beautiful water I've ever seen. And then you get freaking farmland on the water, like on the beach. Like the land values have not appreciated as much for it to be, allocated, zoned as residential property. This is a delicacy. This never happens, right? Like if this was anywhere else in the world, like it would be mansions and villas all throughout over here, and probably will be eventually. But you're looking at farmland on the water, on the beach. Like, when was the last time you saw that?
So into the water closet. I'm gonna open this up and show you guys another pivot. White stuck on the wall.
Probably my least favorite finish is this kind of a 1960s, 70s white stucco finish. It just doesn't go with everything else. They've executed so many beautiful details for being in such a remote area in the world. It's just that white stucco look is not something I would recommend for them to continue.
So this door slides open, and this is all outside. I mean, look at this reveal. Get that dry stack limestone, the floating vanity, completely made of marble, all book matched. And even this mirror just looks like it's suspended and floating, but you step up and you can shower or take a bath outside and just be a part of nature. They did this so incredibly well, and you're all guarded here with this boulder. Again, this was originally found here.
What a beautiful bathroom. And the whole thing is outside, this is an outdoor bathroom. You're really in it. Like they took this architectural style to as far as you could. And what a beautiful choice of material. That marble, they've picked some beautiful marble that match so well with all the other colors and palettes and finishes. I've rarely seen that. Again, the part of the architecture, interior design, these people have worked together. You can tell, like, it's a design team that have worked with each other for many, many different projects. They understand each other. They know what to bring to the table. Again, the only bad thing I've seen over here is that white stucco, but the rest of the house is really cohesive, and they didn't try to do so much, change all the rooms, right? It's very fundamental to this design to not do that, because it's supposed to blend in with the nature and also calm you. If you see, like, all the rooms finishes are the same. You don't have to try many different things and, show us how good you are in interior design. That continuity really brings calmness to the eye and relaxes you, which is the whole point of this villa.
Stepping out, we're gonna go check out the main villa. So we're gonna step across. Again, here's where that circular formation is. And we're gonna open up these frameless doors. Look at the panels of glass that we have here. And it all pockets, once again, mimicking the other side. But I'm gonna open this up just a bit, and I think Lydia is already digging in on this super long dining table.
What a beautiful piece of stone. Look at that, okay? You see that marble? Where the hell did you find that? Look at the the darker vein and the lighter vein. It perfectly picks up the two other colors you have in the whole room. Beautiful. And I love the louvers. Again, it's so silly they have a glass front door. This is all outside. Like, This is really a, an outdoor experience, a covered outdoor experience, which is what they're going for. And by the way, they've saved so much money on windows. That is ridiculous. Most villas in this price point, have motorized windows and fleet doors and tuck it in and pocket it in. They just decided not to bother any of that because what? They picked the right architectural style for their location, and people will pay you. They will pay you to go and have this experience, to hang out with the geckos and spiders and bugs, because that was the advertising.
When you go to design a home, are you thinking of the interaction of the person coming in, or do you think of the design first?
What a freaking good question. I've heard Ennis interview like 20 different architects and builders, and he never asked that question. Like, that's like a fundamental question that you can ask an architect, because a lot of them have a style, even if they don't admit to it. A lot of them is like, what makes more money? That's like 90%. But it's a very good question. So let's listen to their answer.
Yes, always ask how it's going to be experienced.
Human scale.
Yeah.
Human experience first.
Yeah.
Every project needs to tell a story. It needs to have a concept behind a story, a way it needs to make you feel in a way. Functionality for us, it's very important. Functionality it's one of the key parts of our work, and the shape is not secondary, but it comes through the process. We don't start with the shape. We start always with this process that it derives in a shape.
Did you know what that means? Okay, so they first go and say, okay, I want a couch over here. I want a bed over here to face this way because the sun is coming this way. They frame movements and areas. Okay, beautiful concept. And it's exactly the same way that if you want to get really this kind of nailed architectural style, interior experience. I talk about Artie's design. I haven't interviewed them, but I can promise you, he looks at it almost 100% the same way. He doesn't first imagine a shape and then try to make it work. He doesn't at first imagine, I have to have a couch over here. No, he says, I want to have a moment here. This is special. It could be 1, 2, 3 things, and then identify those 3 things, and then go to the next phase, and go to the next phase, and then pay attention to the layout. It's a really long process to really bring it all in together, to make sure every moment, every time your neck turns, it's a special moment. And this is what I do when I critique layouts, architectural styles of your architects, to make sure they're doing this. Because why? I've done this 1,750 times, and I have every video to prove what I do. And I have the buyers who hold their hands, show them the properties, $20 million, $80 million properties, and get that feedback of what they want, how they feel. And I reverse engineer goosebumps to make sure what? When you sell your property, you have the highest resale value, because not just you would like it, everyone else would like it too.
There's one thing that we try to do in these houses, that they are homes, but it's kind of investment and rental. We try to play with the layouts to make them a bit different of regular houses. So the bathroom is open, and then you have connection from when you are using the sink to the views. The showers, they have the 3 regular bedrooms there, they have a small window, so when you are showering, you can see the views. So there are things that we are taking chances to make them a bit different from a regular house.
We think we're proud of our work because there is interior design also incorporated into the architecture. And so we have handled the project since the architectural concept until the beginning, the end of it. So it's the quality of spaces, the quality of materials. It's something that we really take care of, and also the way the building sets itself into the land and how it's looked from underneath, from the road, from everywhere. I think it's pretty different from every project here in Tampa.
Okay, there are 2 things. One, Kiko, the guy on the right, the interior designer, got bit by a bug. Okay, I don't know if you saw that, like in the beginning of the video. So bring your bug spray. This is it. This is a flaw. Like, there's going to be all types of animals over here, bugs and insects. So you got to come prepared for that. Second, they didn't copy the local architecture, right? This is not what the locals have been building. right? This is inspired by the rice fields. That whole like a cave that, you know, you brought the outside inside, you blend it in. You have a light well from the other side. Your bathrooms are open. Your living quarters, your kitchen is open. Only your bedrooms are really closed off with glass, so you will have air conditioning when you sleep. The rest is all open.
Just to talk about the design of this home and the layout, the functionality, at the end of the hallway, again, here in Tampah Hills, 24/7 butler service. So you have to find a way and how to make that work and just the functionality to it. So there's an exit and entrance in the back of that butler's kitchen that syncs up to the stairwell on top of that green roof and then out to the motor court. Full kitchen in there though. So waterfall edged island, more of those warm tones being pulled out from the different neutral organic tones here in this space.
That's the smallest cooktop. They weren't really small. I know you have the chef's kitchen, but it would have been a little bit nicer if they gone a little bit with more heavy duty material so you can cook over here. But what a lovely space. The fact that it opens on both sides. You're not going to have a natural light problem over here, even though it's really dark ceilings. As you can see, the frame is completely overexposed over here because you have natural light coming from every direction. And you get quite a bit of breeze at the right time of the year if you go from the Indian Ocean coming in. It shouldn't get too hot over here. My biggest concern is bugs. That's the number one element, and getting like mosquito bit and all types of other creatures that might be living there. That's the biggest concern. I'm not really worried about heat if you go at the right time.
And back behind me, you'll notice all of these louvers, again, on this pivot. It's such a unique feature, and this is the first time we're seeing this. Obviously in this tropical environment, we have this open, airy feel, letting that air come in and down the hill. You can actually step out here, and you'll notice the retaining walls step up along this hill, just for more light to be let inside this home.
Okay, the louvers really remind me of the video I did on the James Bond No Time to Die Pied de Terre in Jamaica. And the other big concern over here is, you know, Category 5 hurricanes, because or typhoons for that matter. You're pretty, you know, straight up Indian Ocean over here. I don't know what the weather conditions are, but what do you do? Like, do you close them, or you just keep the open, let the wind go through it? And then what do you do with your furniture? It's a concern, right? Like, I love this design, but you really got to think it out. It's like, how's the water going to intrude over here, you know, during the storm time?
So you have this circular table next to all these low profile pieces of furniture, just really leaning into that minimalist design that we have here. You could easily fit 20 people on this, all directing out towards this incredible view, which is the pool, which just vanishes into the Indian Ocean. It's beautiful.
Okay, the swimming pool is the definition of an infinity edge pool. Really interesting. It kind of looks like a river. The choice of tile for the swimming pool is genius. It goes with the architecture, but having this architectural element, swimming pool, sticking out, going against this whole invisible vibe and energy, you know, you can tie in a story that, you know, there's a spring in the mountain and this is a river coming out of it, whatever you want to go with, okay? But it's important. It's important that they included this element, because if you have something completely invisible, then there's nothing to market. You see, you got to understand, you're not going to live in this property full time. This is always going to be a vacation home. Always, okay? This is a vacation home. Like to 99%, the demographic that you want to target this, you want this to make it a perfect vacation home. You don't have to make it a perfect family home, because that demographic is tiny. Very, very tiny. And by giving this property, this arrow, this river, this architectural element, you make it iconic. That's why Dubai goes and builds, you know, sail-shaped Dubai towers. And all these elements, all these countries build these iconic structures to give identity and attract. Why? Because we make our decisions through our phone. It's swipe left, right. You get 2-3 seconds to make a decision. And if you don't see something interesting, to break away from this invisible element of the house, which the swimming pool does, you're not going to get the click. And they've done that. They've done it perfectly well, and it goes and it's interesting. And again, it makes me want to visit this island. Not just this property, but this island.
And these lights all kick on in the evening, just creating for more ambiance. And even here on the coffee table, those bow ties connecting the planks, which is playing off the dining table. We have these wide lounge chairs all facing the view. An abnormality here, flat ground with grass. So you can hang out here, throw a ball around.
and hit your head on the boulder. You didn't have to keep the boulders, you know. Nobody would have known. You could have had a little bit more grass area safe for the kids to play, because that is my only other concern over here for families with younger kids. It's not the safest.
Going back inside through another louvered door, again on a pivot. Everything's on a pivot here, so you can just have that traffic very freely come and go, as this airy open home is meant for that. I love all these pivot doors, and the louvers just interacts and plays with light so differently throughout the day. And like I've mentioned, you can change the way the louver sits. So if you want light to play one way or the other, you can do that. It's just so dramatic, like with these all set up in sequence. It's so cool, just that lush greenery and that light pushed into this home. And this moment right here, just look at this hallway and the way that light pushes straight down. Again, the lights in this home don't push out, they go straight down, which is really unique to this property, and it plays so well.
And what also has been really consistent is narrow hallways and narrow doorways. They've done that. I don't know why. Is it trying to create a compression space, or people are just skinnier over there? I'm not sure. Over here is going to affect the layout, because overall on this villa, on this side, it's very like 4 bedrooms on one side, and then there's a living room. And the layout is just not dynamic at all. It's very, you know, utilitarian. You just get it done. The best thing is that all the 4 bedrooms get pretty much the same view. Maybe the primary at the end gets a, you know, a little bit more panoramic view, but you're jeopardizing your flow. You're jeopardizing connectivity. Overall, it's a very long house. If you consider the whole entity as one villa, going from one side to the other side is as long as it gets.
This is Sage's room. We're gonna see how clean it is. We definitely don't have 24/7 housekeeping. All these guest bedrooms have incredible views, just like the primary at the end. We're gonna enter into our second bedroom here, again, deep into this wall. And then this stone work here is white with more of those granite pebbles inside of it, just making it for more texture. And then this one has incredible views once again. The day bed, the desk, this one follows the same trend as the other one, but we have some different colors from the stone, and of course these pendants. But the glass continues, again, the views, everything is directed towards the Indian Ocean. Last bedroom before we enter the primary suite, again, tucked into the wall down this corridor. This one takes on a whole new look. We have the blue terrazzo that you see everywhere. It's super smooth to the touch, which is perfect for a bathtub. But before we touch on that, those built-ins, once again, are corrugated. There's also blue in here everywhere. Just love the playful colors from the pink now to the blues, and just all the different tones that pop out of that and contrast so nicely with it. It's just fun and playful here on this circular sink with the hardware that's coming out.
The most important part is that they didn't change it too much. You see, like, they've kept everything consistent. They've changed the color of terrazzo. And guess what? They're doing that because they're probably making it in-house, right? They're building on scale, multiple villas at the same time, and bringing different material to this part of the world is probably difficult. They've figured out they like mid-century elements. They have the walnut finishes. And if what they bring in and manufacture their own terrazzo floors and custom made it, they can choose different colors. And the only element they're really changing is the terrazzo color. The rest is the same. And that calms you, like gives you just enough change, but also enough continuity for you to not be distracted and not lose your focus. So overall, beautiful. Like I think they've done a great execution.
I gotta just step in this because the scale and volume of this is hard to grasp until I step in. I'm a rather large human. I don't take baths. They don't work for me. But this one, I can actually almost lay down completely, which is insane. But this is normally where a daybed would be, so they've replaced it now with the tub. Next to it, we've got a little bit of a bench seating here, just off your king-size bed.
Why? It's like your girlfriend holds your hand, or like shampoos your hair. Like, that's interesting placement. That's a little weird. I'm trying to think what was the thought behind it.
Now, this is what I've been waiting to show you guys, because this is where Lydia and I have been staying. open up this massive pivot door. Again, it stops. Off to my right, we have our walk-in closet. And then off to my right, this is the water closet. You'll notice all the custom built-ins everywhere. There's a mirror facing this way, so when you're looking and getting ready for the morning or the evening when you go out to dinner here, you can just see behind you all this dry stack limestone, the lush greenery and the natural light pouring into this space. Before I enter the bedroom, I want to show you guys, in my opinion, the big moment in here. Look at this. You open up these doors and you're just invited back into nature. This space is all air conditioned because we have this louver set up once again. So you unlock these, accordion style once again. You slide open these doors. And then you can literally shower outside. This is incredible. You can see the entire room just completely shifted from that moody, dark vibe to now being outside, connected once again.
Wow, what a beautiful bathroom. Again, great choice of marble. They know how to pick marble. Amazing, beautiful marble. Everything opens up. These outdoor bathrooms are amazing, right? You might not like bugs and everything, but like if person who's going over here, they just want to, you know, let themselves free in nature. Like that's the idea, right? And each bedroom delivers. Like it's really hard to tell which bedroom is better than the other one. This one has a better bathroom and it opens up to the, you know, it has more panoramic views, but overall great execution. Like it's so what you would expect from the location.
But now into the bedroom. This is where Lydia and I have been spending all of our time here in the evenings. Here on this little bed, I've been getting some work done, transferring some footage from the tours and obviously traveling around Indonesia. It's been incredible.
This is very interesting. Did you hear what he said? This is where we've been spending all of our time. You know why? Because the other spaces are not air conditioned. that's a problem. Because those living rooms were amazing, right? You have even more views. It's open. It's next to the kitchen, by the swimming pool. So it seems like the time of the year they've gone, I guess there's not enough wind. There's a lot of humidity, and the bedroom is where the sanctuary is right now.
So you'll notice on the back wall, we have the painting, and then backdropping it is just a wall of vertical teak slats, warming this space back up. The accent chair is placed just next to this sculptural floor lamp. And my favorite part about this room is that you can see sunsets. So you can open up these doors, and on a windy day, all of these sheer curtains just move and play with the lighting as you open up these doors. And the square footage just completely transforms and transcends to the outdoor area. From that greenery area past the couch, just adding more square footage into the space, to now this partially covered terrace. So this is all covered out here, right? We've got the 2 base chairs set up, overlooking the ocean, incredible sunset views.
Okay, let's give it an Arvin score. But before I do that, if you want me to overlook your architectural style, layout, the 10 principles that I'm about to score this property on, before you submit your plans and commit to spending $5 million, $10 million, you want me to go through it right now and then give you support for 12 months while you're building it, I would love to be that resource to you. Here's a link to the inner circle. Okay, location. I don't want to be mean, but I'm going to give it a 4. It's just not a really luxury place. And that might be exactly the same reason you would want to go there and see it or buy a property for that matter. So I'm not trying to put it down, but you never had heard of it before. And I didn't know much about it till like maybe 3-4 months ago, okay? Lot quality. Again, it's not that good of a lot. When you think about it, it's a hillside property. I'm sure it's really massive because he mentioned that, you know, you got to have a lot of land to be able to build one home, but it's mostly all hillside, right? So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 3. Lot utilization. You definitely have a private driveway coming up to the property. You do have a little motor court. You don't have that frontage as far as like the space between, like, you know, the private driveway to the facade, but that tunnel experience, stairs going down, was amazing. I give a lot of points for that alone, but you don't have much of a backyard at all. Your side setbacks are amazing. You don't have any neighbors. It's a tricky one to score. I'm going to give it a 5. Privacy and security. Look, it's very, very private, but security is not as safe as Bali, okay? Bali, there's a lot of tourists there, and for that reason, there's an infrastructure built towards protecting that tourism income. This is pretty much just like any other place in the Indonesia, so it's not going to score that well. Overall, though, I'm still going to give it an 8. Lot orientation. Look, you're east facing, you're south facing, which is really north facing for northern hemisphere, and west facing, but you get a lot of exposures. I'm going to give it a 6. Architectural style. This was the best invisible, camouflage, biofolic, whatever you want to call it, architecture I've ever seen. It completely blended it with nature, but then again broke the rule, stuck out the swimming pool, made it iconic, made it photogenic to be able to be marketed across the globe. For me and a lot of other mansion tour guides to cover this property is a fantastic job. It did the island justice. It set an extremely good benchmark for anyone else who dares to go buy land over here and develop. You got to set it high. I salute them for them. I congratulate them. It's an absolute 10. Views. To me, it's a 10 because it's both panoramic and at the same time extremely dynamic. It was definitely jetliner from everywhere. And at the same time, you had this rice fields. You had farmland on the beach. Like, I've never seen that. Sunset to sunrise. It's a 10. Layout. Not so good. Look, you have a family room that is not really well connected to the bedrooms. It's a long house, but again, on the other side, you got incredible amount of bedrooms, all with views. It was a trade-off. They had to pick. The topography of the land forced it. The architectural style forced it. They went for the internal experience, not the best layout possible, and they saved a lot of money doing it. They're going to get a 6, but I would have probably done the same thing. Scale and volume. The bedrooms were, on the smaller side. The living rooms were on the longer side. Overall, it wasn't like ultra luxury by no means, but things were somewhat proportional. I'm going to give it a 6. Finishes. The fact that they knew to bring the outside inside, a lot of people don't. And I love the fact that they didn't spend too much money in it. And the fact that they could resource it over here, like middle of nowhere on earth. I salute them for it. I thought the palette was very good. But at the end of the day, it wasn't like bespoke ultra luxury level. I'm going to give it a 7.5. Now, here's the Arvin score. If you want to see another invisible house done really badly, which didn't do the land justice, check out this video. And if you want to consult with me, I would love to be that resource to you. Here's the QR code. I'll see you guys in the comments, and thanks for watching.